Alright, so I'm sure many of you are very aware of the food supply situation that's going on, and then the recent land hurricane we had, and the food supply chain is essentially about to collapse. I found this video that's like 5 years old, and it's by a company called See Progress. And it essentially predicted exactly this. We've all heard of Event 201. Well, this was kind of the same thing, but with the food supply chain. The video is uncanny. And who is See Progress? Well, they are part of America for Progress or whatever. They are funded. They're ran by John Podesta. Yeah. And the old Obama and Hillary people. And of course Soros is part of it because they're connected with Act Blue. Let's go ahead and take a look at this video. Alright, I put a little filter over it, so hopefully they won't pull it for copyright, but here it is.
Good evening. It's November 8th, 2020, and this is Dan Cronkite with your nightly news. With food prices rising around the world, tonight, a look at our increasingly vulnerable food system. Food is getting more expensive. Forecasts indicate that prices will soon exceed 1.5 times long-term averages. In parts of Asia in particular, the costs of rice and soybeans are rising at a concerning rate. This trend is raising alarms among some experts about the well-being of millions of people and the stability of entire nations. Warning signs about the fragility of our global food supply have been mounting. Back in 2010, the United Nations predicted that in order to feed a population of more than 9 billion people by mid-century, agricultural production will need to increase as much as 70%. Developing nations, in particular, will feel pressure to double their output. There have been some successes. Since the early 1990s, the world has seen a decrease in undernourished people. Today, the world's hungry are mostly clustered in fast-growing developing countries in sub-Saharan Africa and South Asia. But the rising costs of food and the deepening impact of climate change and extreme weather events is creating a growing concern about worldwide availability. But this is not just a concern for the world's poor. The changing climate is also impacting food production in traditional breadbaskets, such as the United States, Canada, Brazil, and Australia. And monsoons that enable farm production from India to Indonesia are becoming less reliable. By 2030, 60% of the world's population is projected to live in cities, leaving fewer farmers to feed the growing population. There is a risk that population growth will outpace agricultural production in some areas.
In the past decade, we've seen mounting challenges to governments, international organizations, and the private sector in providing access to affordable food. Pressure from a shrinking rural labor force, limited availability of new farmland, increased urbanization, social and political unrest, and climate change-induced risks have led to global food supply disruptions.
The stakes are clear. How will our leaders in government, business, and international aid react to this growing food security challenge? The world is looking to them for answers.
I'm sure it's just a coincidence, right guys? Just a coincidence. Nothing weird. Nothing weird there at all. Just fiction. But we're seeing Seattle stocking up on food. We're seeing miles long at these food banks in Dallas. Shortage on tin to make for, they're saying Dr. Pepper, but you know, that's for a lot of things. Tin cans and stuff like that. what are they saying? 1 in 3 people in Colorado are facing food insecurity. It's not good. And then we're having the massive flooding in China. You need to be prepared. There's no reason to be fearful if you are prepared. And you know, I've never really talked about my I have a Patriot Supply affiliate to where you can go and I think you get 10% off or whatever, and they have great food. They have you know, right now I went to the store the other day and the regular meat, like ground meat, was like $20. The organic well, the grass-fed cow meat, whatever, was actually cheaper than the regular meat. I'd never seen that before, and that's pretty crazy. And I'm seeing empty shelves and stuff like that. So your best bet would at least to get a few weeks of supplies, and it's actually cheaper. Because at first I was like, no, I'm gonna can all my stuff and it'll be cheaper that way. Actually, it's kind of not. It's kind of cheaper and a lot less work to just go ahead and get it from my Patriot Supply. They have, let's go ahead and take a look at all of the great food. And not only food, they have good survival supplies and water filtration and stuff like that. Let's check it out. So don't wait until it's too late, y'all. Get your stuff now. You don't want to be waiting till the last minute and then have to end up either out of food or
so they have tons of freeze-dried food.
Worse.
Not all of it is dehydrated. That's what I love about them, because dehydrated food, a lot of it has like a lot of sodium and stuff in it, but a lot of this is freeze-dried and it tastes so much better. They have microgreens, seeds, those supply bars that have like, I don't know, 26, like a whole day's worth of calories, 2,600 calories. Solar powered to where you could plug your phone in, or small items, whatever. These little cooker things. I actually have one of those. I'll be honest, I didn't really like it, but I mean, it's good for like one person or making coffee. They have air purifier, water purifier, fruits, vegetables, meats. I mean, they've got everything for now. Some of the items are on like a week or two delay, so better get it now. Another great thing that they have is you could spread out the payments. They do like a payment plan, 90-day over 90% approval rate, whatever. So that's really good.